So it means the bees, and the cultura means the cultivation of these bees through education. And the beekeeping is the scientific management, okay, and it is the rearing of honeybee in the colonies for producing high honey, beeswax, and other bee products, as well as for the bees were extensively used for the crop pollination of different crops. And the bees are usually maintained in a place where actually the colonies dividing, and how it is maintained. So that place normally we call it as a apiary units. Okay, so these are the units, and actually it is not clear when the beekeeping is started in the ancient civilization, but there are some archaeological evidences that 4,000 years back, Egyptians are the pioneers. It means they are the first persons. They are using the bees in clay pots, and apart from honey, there are also these bees were reared for propolis and also for wax purpose. And after the Egyptians, Roman philosopher Aristotle, in his book, he written and he mentioned about the bees, that is Historia Animalum, and regarding the bees, floral fidelity, division of labor within the colonies, and the winter feeding, and how it is maintained in the winter season also. And he also described some of the brood diseases. And after the Egyptians and Aristotle, Hippocrates also mentioned the nutritional values, okay, so the pharmaceutical values of honey, and Greek athletes in earlier days, they used this honey as a energy burst. Okay? And coming to the history of beekeeping, so the commercial beekeeping started during the second half of the 19th century, and there is a big revolution after the discovery of bee space by the L.L. Langstroth in 1851, and it is nothing but it is the space between the two combs, okay, which is easy for the free movement of all around the combs for the workers. And based on this concept, Langstroth beehive were framed, and the movable parallel frames or combs were developed by this person. And popularly, we call him as a father of modern beekeeping. And so in India, so the actual reference of honeybees were made in the oldest scriptures of India, like in the case of Rig Veda, it is referred that honey or mudhu, both as a divine substance as well as a natural medicine. And the earlier method of beekeeping or the practice of rearing these bees were normally noticed in case of pot hive. And in this, allowed of tree, hollowed tree trunks, empty pots, and any other suitable receptacles smeared with wax as well as the cinnamon scented oil in order to attract the swarm bees. And this method of pot hive rearing were most common in southern parts of India like Mysore, Coorg, Malabar, Godavari, and also in some parts of Kashmir also. And the first attempt was made by a movable frame hive in 1882 in Bengal, and in 1884 in Punjab, and after that in southern parts of India, the Newton in 1911 and 1917. So he developed the bee space in relation to Epicerana. So after the discovery of bee space, he frequently and adopted the bee serena, okay, Epicerana. So normally we call it as a Newton's hive. And after that, Himachal Pradesh, modern beekeeping with the indigenous honeybee, that is Epicerana indica, started in 1934 in Kulu and Kangra districts of Himachal Pradesh. And Dr. A.S. Appal, so he brought the Apis mellifera from Italy to India in 1962. Okay, so he was the first person who introduced the Apis mellifera, that is Italian bees. And at present, both of beehive species are being used in modern beekeeping, and lot of honey is also being collected from the wild colonies of Apis dorsata, as well as the Apis florea. And India is the primary producing of 70,000 metric tons of honey annually from four species of honeybees. And in 1962, All India Coordinated Research Project on honeybees and pollinators were launched. At the same time, in 2020, so 2020, National Beekeeping and Honey Mission was also initiated. So this provided a lot of grants for the research, training, financial support, and modernization of the beekeeping activities. Okay, so in India, so the Dr. A. Satwal is, we are calling him as a father of modern beekeeping in India. Coming to the global scenario, so these are the top 6 countries, honey producing countries, and from 1961 to 2025. If you look at the top 6 countries, China has recorded 30% of the share of honey, and India has recorded 8% of the share, which is in the 5th position after the Turkey, Iran, and USA. And if you see the top 10 largest countries of honey producing natural honey, it includes both wild honey as well as cultivated honey. And India is recording the 2nd position in 146 tons of honey. So this is data in 2004 production of natural honey. Okay, and the first one is China. And so if you see the export, largest exporter of honey, the Spain, UK, Belgium, Germany, and Poland are the top 5 countries. They are the major importers of honey, and among them, the UK and Germany. Germany has recording the maximum import of honey from other countries, and these are the 5 countries of exporters. And China has the major exporter of honey to the other parts of the globe. And the second one is the Ukraine, and this is the 2024 data. And if you see the global apiculture market, so in case of global apiculture market in 2024, so 10.05 billions US dollar billions is the global apiculture market around the globe, and it is going to reach 2032 at the rate of 12.73 millions of global market. And if you see the region-wise share, Asia Pacific region is a major share. Okay? So Asia Pacific region is a major share compared to the other parts of the world. And coming to the role of bee in diversity and pollination service, pollination ecology. So not only the honey, the bees are not only producing the honey, they are also involved in many of the activities. If you see the several ways, so the plant reproduction, bees pollinate wild group of plants, crops, and ensures a lot of seed formation and also plant generation. And maintenance of ecosystem balance, pollination helps in maintain the food chain and ecological stability and the genetic diversity. So the cross pollination is very, very essential in order to promote the genetic variation, heritability, and the heterosis is very, very important in order to create the heterosis. And habitat sustainability, bees support the flowering plants, okay, and which in turn support the birds, mammals, okay, and which will provide seeds for other group of animals. So if you see the pollination service by the bees, so among all the animal pollinators, 73% of the pollination is alone done by the bees. So out of which 20,335 species are known globally, and 766 species of bees are pollinated in India, and these species specialize in collection of pollen, nectar, as well as the nectar and oils. So bees invariably they lose the pollens on the stigma. So in that way they are going to help in pollination and also fertilization of the plants. So these are the statistical data. Okay. So the increase in the yield due to the bee pollination in different crops. So these are the major crops. The mustard has recording the highest percent of increase in the yield. So it is mainly achieved by the pollination by the bees. And second crop is the sunflower, cotton, leaves, and likewise many of the crops are collected by different groups of bees. And this is the percent increase in the yield due to the pollination by the honeybees. So the economic importance of beekeeping in the Indian agriculture. So the bee and important agricultural activity in India. Okay, and it contributes to agricultural production, farmer income, employment generation, and export earnings. Okay, so and the environmental sustainability. And if you see the first point, okay, so the first point, so the increase in the crop production through pollination service. Many of the crops are important, most economic part of that is contribution in the pollination service, and more than 108 agricultural crops are being pollinated in Indian situation. And if you see the percent share, the 51% of the crop species benefit the pollinators, such as honeybees, and thus the value of pollination much higher than the honey and also wax, which is going to be produced by the honeybees. And second, the production of honey and other bee products. So apart from the crop pollination service, honeybees are also going to produce a lot of honey, and which is used as a major food source and medicine and natural sweetener. And second one is the beeswax, and it is used for the preparation of candles, and it is also used as a cosmetic agents and nail polish and imparting color to the bangles. Okay, so many of the aspects are being prepared from the beeswax. And the third one is royal jelly. Okay, it is used as health supplements. Okay, and it is having the anti-aging property. And bee pollen, it is a nutritional supplement because the pollen contains rich amount of protein. And propolis, it is very much used as a medicine and also inert material or adjuvants for the cosmetic preparation. And bee venom is also used as a therapeutic treatments. So these products support many food, cosmetics, and also pharmaceutical industries. And employment generation, this is a beekeeping activity generates many of the employment opportunities for the rural women and also for the landless farmers, because it is a less cost is involved in the production of honey as well as maintenance of honey. And 10,000 bee colonies generate about 3 lakhs man working days. This is a huge amount of man working days. And small beekeepers can earn 3 to 5 lakhs per year. So it provides a lot of supports in jobs in honey processing, packaging, marketing, and it is one of the supplementary income to the farmers apart from the other agricultural activity. So the beekeeping requires low investment, small space, okay, and minimal labor, and making it suitable for the small and marginal farmers. So some of the farmers, they doesn't have a huge land. So within a small 1 acre or 2 acres or small piece of land is enough to rear the honeybees. So within that space only they can earn lakhs of money. And the farms can practice apiculture along with the horticulture, and it can be integrated with the other agricultural activities, also crops, plantation crops, okay, and fruit crops also. And this will in turn benefit the productivity of the horticulture crops. So this provides the additional income without affecting the other farm activities. And if you see the Indian constant, India is the top 5 honey producers in the world. And if you see the last decade honey production, so there is a tremendous increase in the honey production as well as the export. So if you see the export, USA is the major importer from India, so among the 83 nations, and it provides a lot of earnings from the export of the honey. So this will contribute to the foreign exchange earnings and also development to the allied industries. Beekeeping supports the many of the related industries, food industries, cosmetic industry, pharmaceutical industry, candles and polish manufacturing industry. Okay? So the bee products and its byproducts will be used as a raw material or subsidiary material for the further industrial applications. And another application of bee, this is a very much important, the apitherapy or bee therapy. So the bee therapy, it is well-being and health conditions. Okay, so whenever the persons are trauma or the arthritis, people are suffering from the joint pains. So small stinging operation is enough to cure. So it is very much traditional practice. So some of the beekeepers were frequently it is using, and so these are the scientific and evidences were noticed from last 2 to 3 years. So the bee venom contains a myelin protein. It is having the anti-cancer property. So the still research to be needed in order to get the benefit of the myelin protein. Okay, so this is one of the area. Lot of research to be done for the anti-cancer properties of myelin protein. So which is normally present in the bee poison. And if we see the present status of apiculture industry in India, in the context of production, export, and import, and India is the major producer of honey, and 1.25 to 1.4 lakh metric tons of honey being annually it is being produced, and it is raised 242 times increase in the honey production from the last 10 decades. It means that the farmers and beekeepers are enthusiastic, and also they come up with, and a lot of research and trainings are happened, and this is the good thing and good sign for the Indian context. And around 22.83 lakhs of bee colonies being registered in India, and the India rank among the top 5 honey producing countries in the world. And if we see the honey production in India, so the Uttar Pradesh, West Bengal, Punjab, Bihar are the top 5 countries, 5 states are the major honey producers. Okay, and we see the export, and nearly 50 to 66% of the honey are produced from India, which is completely exporting. Okay, and in 2020, 23 to 24, so the India is exporting around 1.0 lakh metric tons of natural honey, which is valued about $117.55 million, with further increase in the value of $206 billion in 2025. And the India, China, and Ukraine, Argentina are the major exporters of honey in the globe. And India, it is accounting 11% of the honey, which is majorly exporting from the India. And so in the United States is the largest importer of honey from the Indian country. So more than 70 shipments were being done in a year. And if you see the Indian honey export basket, more than 78% of the honey being exported to USA alone. Okay, so USA is a major customer of Indian honey compared to the other group of countries. And domestic demand for the honey in India, there is a lot of demand, and 50,000 tons of honey, okay, per year. So it is a lot of demand is there, and overall honey and apiculture industry is valued around 3,500 crores. The Indian apiculture market was 31,115 millions of dollar in 2025, and it is projected to $69,475 million of amount in 2035, which is a strong growth of Indian concept. So, and major drivers of demand. So, if you see what are the major driving forces, growing health conscious and use of honey as a natural sweetener, and the increase in the use of Ayurvedic medicines and also traditional remedies. So, this is one of the reasons, and expansion of food processing, cosmetics, and pharmaceutical industry very much utilized in these areas. So the honey is used as a raw material for preparation of food processing and also for the cosmetics. And the demand in organic and natural products. So this is one of the area. So a lot of scope is there for production of honey. And so coming to the conclusion aspect, so the beekeeping in India, it is the integral part of agriculture, biodiversity, and also economy of the country by providing the vital role in pollination service to trigger the maximum productivity of the different crop yields and also the ecosystem of the health. So the finally, uh, so this is a very good opportunity for me to deliver a small amount of information in front of all the audience by saying that if the bees disappeared off the surface of the globe, then man would only have to live up to 4 years of. Okay, so no more bees, no more pollination, no more plants, and no more animals, no more man. So this is one of the beautiful quote given by the Albert Einstein. So we are very, very cautious. So in order to save the honeybees, so the one should think that before application of any insecticides or taking any industrial activity, we should be safe and we should be take care of our natural honeybees. Okay, so this is one of the message or small information I want to share everybody. So thank you.